What is up everyone, Starboard Wars here. I'm going to show you how to create this layout using Photoshop, a Slabmag, and let's get to it. Alright, so first thing, I do have a template made that I use for all of my card layouts. So let's go ahead and build a PSA one for this specific card that we're doing. Alright, so first thing I'm going to do is go to my PSA account, find the card, and hope that PSA has a scan of your card. Some cards aren't scanned in, some are. This card happens to be scanned in. If you don't, you might have to take a photograph of it, which can be pretty challenging given like reflections, things like that. So what I'm going to do is download this image. I'm going to download the front only, save it in my folder. Let's go over to Slabmags now. Find the Slabmag that you want to add to your layout. I do have this one in real life. I think it adds a nice touch when you lay these into your design. So open up that slab, save image as. I'm going to go ahead and save it here. Let's call this PSA matte blue. Save it. All right, let's go back to Photoshop. What I'm going to do now is bring in, I'm going to turn this layer off. These are for SGC slabs. I will keep it for a reference so I have my layout the same. All right, so first thing you're going to want to do is place the slab. You can do hotkeys, which I typically do, but I'm going to go over to File, Place Embedded. Let's go find, click Download, Starboard Wars folder. It is PSA matte blue. Now that we have this place, hit Enter. I'm going to go ahead and rasterize this layer, and let's get this white to go away. Pretty simple. You're going to go over here to your magic wand tool. There's a ton of different ways to do things, in Photoshop. So this is just the way that I do things typically. So let's go ahead and select the outside. Now that I selected it, you see what I call the marching ants. Before I just hit delete on this, I'm going to go up here to the select and mask. And what I like to do is over in the smooth tab, let's just bring it up maybe by like 3. All right, I'm going to hit delete. Now let's do the same thing for the middle. Marching ants, select mask, bring it up to 3, hit OK, and delete. Alright, so Control D to get these marching ants to go away. I'm on a PC. So now that we have our slab, let's scale it up so that way my layouts kind of stay, pretty similar. So the matte blue, I'm holding Alt as I do this to scale them up. I'm going to go ahead, hit Enter now. Let's get that white slab to go away in the back. Alright, so I create this little square that goes behind. That's going to kind of provide my drop shadow that I like to use. So you'll notice sometimes the corners might peek out. So I'm going to duplicate this layer. That one's for SGC. We'll call this PSA VG for background. Let's turn the SGC one off. And over here on this, I'm going to just erase these corners. Be poking out a little bit, which they are. Let me turn this slab off so you see. We just had this little square, right? And I created that, and then I add a drop shadow to it. So now, with our matte blue back on, I'm just going to drag this down just to keep it all tight in the layers here. Let's go ahead and place the card now. So Control Shift P, which is place embed. We're working on a Mac. I think it's Command Shift P for place. Where is my lookup? Here it is. Place it. Hit Enter. Let's scale this down. And I hate how ugly that slab is. It's off-white. I'm going to see if I can adjust that just a little bit. So I'm going to hit Control B, which is my color balance. Let's take this blue, turn it just a little bit up some, without. There we go. So that helped get the muddiness out of it. Now I'm going to add a little saturation. So Control U. Let me go back to my white balance here. You can have a white balance tool. So maybe if there's something white in the card, let's click on it. Let's see if it does a good balance for us. About as clean as we're going to get. Alright. Now I want to brighten it a little bit, so I'm going to hit Control L for levels. And let's just bring this one over here up a little bit. Put a lot wider, much cleaner. All right, next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and sharpen the image. So filter at the top, go to sharpen, smart sharpen. Obviously not that much. I usually go around 50. Looking good. You can turn it on and off, just kind of see it sharpens it a little bit. Let's go down to about 45. Okay, so now let's take this card and drag it below the PSA matte frame. Next thing I want to do is kind of just use my arrow keys, center it up a little bit. What I will do is scale the card just a hair. I'm just kind of looking at the edges, make sure they're kind of even on all sides. I'm going to grab just the top, and I'm going to hold shift as I do this just to bring the top down. Hit enter. Alright, so there's the card placed. Now let's create the background. All I do for that is grab this layer, hit Command J, which is going to duplicate the layer. You can also right click on the layer and duplicate. So now with this layer, I'm going to drag it below that white box that we have in the background. Now I'm going to hold the Alt key as I scale up. And this is kind of a personal preference on what you want in the background, you know, placement wise. You want to show the frame, a little bit of the auto. So for this, we'll rock with that. Next thing I do now is kind of add a little blur to that background. So with that layer selected, filter, blur, Gaussian blur. I go with around 4 to 4.5, something like that. And that is it. So that's how I create, you know, a layout with the slab tag, the PSA card. I think it looks super clean. Next thing you'll do is just export that, and you'll do the same steps for the back. So I hope that helps. Reach out if you got any questions. I'm more than happy to help. If you got suggestions, you know, comment below. But may the force be with you.